So my question is, I understand the dynamic of like federal funding versus provincial funding and them pitting us against each other. My question is where are we currently keeping our money? Because I feel like and I don't know if I'm wrong, I don't know anything about what's going on, but my idea is, what if we have a substantial amount of money, why don't we have our own bank? There's a Bank of Canada, why doesn't Siksika have a Bank of Siksika? Because right now, if we are keeping our bank in the Bank of our money in the Bank of Canada or TD or Alberta, it's okay, Scotiabank, then we're generating interest for Scotia to basically lend money to other people to start businesses off our money, of our interest. And so I just wanted to say that idea, and maybe we can change that. And I don't know if that's even a possibility or reality, but I'd love for us to try that or think about it.
Okay, so I know that doing some research from our other forum, there's $240 million, Lena Running Rabbit said that at our forum, that's in trust, and it's in Scotia. And the interest that's coming out of that is lots. But it actually is going back and paying everything, service area managers and for managers. And it's paying the bills over there. And then we do have assets like this hotels. We have SRDL, but I heard that they're in a hole and we're trying to get them out. And so there's a bunch of, there's assets, like there's buildings that's owned here. So I'm afraid that it's rumored that they want to liquidate assets. So eventually we'll have no money. And then we'll end up in third-party management.
So I love that question. It's exactly the basis of my platform. We get away from this model of sticking our hands out to Ottawa, spoon it all the time. So once we have an economy that's thriving, we then have the revenues generated by our own source revenue in the various industries from the hemp plant. Thereby we fund our own programs instead of asking Ottawa. We're operating on a government model. The band office is a mini Ottawa. What we need is a corporate structure, a true corporate entity, a true corporate structure, so that we could own our own bank. That's the way to do it. Currently, we're only going from one pocket to the other pocket, and that's not a good way to do business, really, seriously. So once we have a hemp industry that's employing all of us, we are all contributing, we're all entitled to those monies. Again.
Okay. From my understanding that we have a BMO bank on the reserve, and I know that they're pushing SRDL or pushing for entrepreneurship, and they're using the band's money to create these personal businesses, in which I think they should be doing it properly, going through the bank to get these loans instead of using the band's money to get their own businesses started. Because the thing is that I don't know if they're paying it back or not. And the thing is, when you do have loans out, you should be paying at least a small interest back, so the bank's generating money as well, and the people that get the loan are paying back. And that's properly how you run, I guess, in the real world, but they're getting loans from the reserve and they're not making any, I guess, money off of it, off those loans. So I think that needs to be changed.
Yeah, it could be done. It's just the way that, that we got to be organized in it. Because, we don't know what's exactly in there. And like our leadership, there's no transparency in there. And that's what I want to change. Because we've been talking about loans, and even, I don't know if you guys even know that 1910, there's already loans taken out of it and it's not even done being negotiated. And that's what I wanted to change, is I wanted to start this community clan chief system. And as a chief, every chief has an advisor. And the people will be my advisor. And so there will be no more hiding. Like all these trusts, we don't know what's going on. And I'll give it to the people. But I'll give it to the clan chiefs. The clan chiefs will give it to the people. And the people will look at it. And it'll go, they can go to the CFO, the tribal manager, or any of the departments and find out their own. At least there will be no more hiding. And they'll be all on board at the same. In the city, you can just go to your clan chief and they'll just show you everything. So this is what I wanted to bring to the reserve. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Yeah, that's the kind of thinking I like to hear. We have to think outside the box, and we got to think big. If you read my paper, we got to think big and to achieve big things. Your question, it depends on how much money we have. As mentioned, nothing is written in stone, and we could achieve things. Just as an example, we got as far as I know, Peace Hills Trust. That's not ours, but the First Nations own lands. So we could do it too.
Thank you for your question. My answer to your question is, I'd like to explore that. That sounds interesting. Same goes for our car insurance. We pay so many different car insurance companies for vehicles that we drive, and they make a hell of a lot of money off of us. Why can't one of us do that? There's a lot of dreams out there, and I think that if somebody can go out there and be a big old banker like the guy on Monopoly, I'm behind it. Why not? It's a good question.
I think we should go one step further than a bank. I like the idea of, can everybody, you don't have to answer, but everybody knows what Money Mart is. Everyone's been there. Everyone's taken out car loans from the Aboriginal creditor kind of thing. Everyone, we all know somebody or we've all done it kind of thing. Bottom line is, we should be that lender. Never mind the bank. We should be that greedy lender. And I figure, you know, all these farmers here that are going through foreclosure now, let's use our money, let's lend it to them, and when they can't pay those loans back, let's start buying some land. Yeah. Bigger. We're bigger than a bank.